Hello, Kibinita, or whatever the name is. I will just explain you how I'm actually doing the Rhino script to produce um, to be able to produce these kinds of drawings. I will show you the script how this is done. So first we open up Rhino and grasshopper. Yes. And the whole script starts out with a basic circle. So I will just make a circle. I will make a slider for that circle. So it's in order to control the radius of the circle. So right now I have one circle. So what I'm doing is I'm dividing that circle up into X amounts of points. And I can do that by putting a number in here. So now I can divide the circle into X amount of points. And obviously I'm still able to do whatever radius I want. So in each of those points, I will make another circle. So if we just make another circle, and in all of these points, I will make one more circle, and I will copy this one here just to show you how this is done. So right now I'm able to make some quite funky looking things, but this is still not what we are going for, because as you can see here, we have one circle here which is small and a bigger one on the outside. So we have to make some sort of differentiation between the sizes of the different circles. Okay, so we need to define a range. So I will define a range. I will just have to see here which one it is. It's a we will do a range. So we will do a range, and we have to define, in order to have the range, we have to specify a domain for these circles. So we just have, I will copy two more of these number sliders here, and I will call this the start radius, and this is the end radius. And I will construct a domain here, and it's from the smaller one to the bigger one. And I will put that into my range. And I will, and how many numbers do I need? So I will take the amount of division points I have for my circle. So if I put this one in here, and if I take up a panel now, you will be able to see that I have some different numbers here. I have numbers going from 13 to 66, and I will have 28 of those numbers as stated here. So these are the numbers which I want for my radii. So I'll just put that there, and as you can see now, we're actually almost there. I do believe that this is the, so now I can control these two. I can set up the amount of circles, and still change the radii of the original basic one. And as you can see here, this one is not active anymore. This is the very basic way of making these. So the only difference there is between this solution and the solution I'm actually doing is that I'm actually not using a circle as my input. I'm actually using a polygon. So if we make a polygon instead and still use the same radii or radius, and we have this polygon and we want to divide that instead, so you can see there the things just changed a bit, and that is that's dependent on the number of segments. So if I put in a number slider from 1 to, let's say, 20 into the segments, oh, it's not that one. Oh, it is this one. It's just, yeah, okay, I cannot have 0 amounts of segments. I will always need a minimum of 3. We cannot have a, yeah, that hopefully makes sense from a geometrical point of view, that you cannot have a polygon with less than 3 sides. So we can see the polygon in the middle of the thing here, and we still have the circles as the base. So right now I can change the amount of segments on the circle, and if I do something like this, things change quite dramatically. And this is the basic way of doing this. And let's just add a bit more. Maybe I want to make sure that I have my paper somewhere. And I will just say that I have a paper, an A3 piece of paper. So that would be 420 in the Y, and it will be 290. There will be 297 on the other axis. I'll put that one in. So here I have my circle, or my rectangle here. This is my piece of paper. I just want to move it a bit. I'll just try and see if I can do this. This is always a bit tricky. So I have to make a division. And I will divide by 2. So I will take this number, divide it by 2. That will be the translation in the x direction here, and then I need the other one for the y direction. This is basically the same there, and I will have to make a vector. I will make a vector, and this is my x, this is my y, and I can move it with this vector. So now I just moved it in the wrong direction. So I can go in here and I can say minus x and minus x, this input value here. Boom, and now I have my translated geometry. So I'll just hide this one. So now I have a piece of paper and I can control my geometry here, the amount of points and everything I want. But what can happen if I put up this one a bit is that I go beyond the paper, and I want that, but maybe I want the geometry to clip or get when it's off the paper. So let's see if that's possible. I should be able to do a trim. Trim copy. Trim a curve with multiple regions. Trim a curve with a region. So we want to trim these curves, and the region which we want to use is this one down here. And now you can see it's probably working already. Let's just see, now it's outputting both. So I will just make a generic geometry thing here and hide this one. And now you can see that I have this will clip, or this will never be shown from within. Yeah, meaning that it will obviously stay inside of the rectangle. And now I have that geometry here. I can add a few things if I want to. Maybe I can construct a point. I can construct a point from 100, and I will just put these 3 coordinates in. Here, and make this my base point for my original. Yeah, actually I don't need the C value, so I can adjust the geometry right where I want it. And of course I can always, if I'm making this on A3 paper, I will obviously not go all the way to the side of the paper. So maybe I will do an offset on this curve here. And I will do an offset distance from 0 to maybe to 20. We'll put this one in. And again, I will flip this one so it goes inside. And then I can use this for my region instead. And now I still have my original paper, but I then have my clipped off thing here, so I can do it exactly as I want. And what I'm having with my own things is I'm using a special controller. I will just show it to you how it is. Oops. Yeah, I'm using this controller, which is a controller with an Arduino inside that can communicate with this script. And then I can turn these knobs. These are not buttons, these are actual potentiometers. And I have these 5 inputs going from 0 to 1024, or 23 actually. But you get the point. So just save the thing and send it right off to you. And thank you for the interest in my project.